Hi, everybody. My name is Sheena Ford, and I am the Program Director of Johnson Child Care Center. And I want to welcome you all to the new and improved program as we are all adjusting to COVID-19. So, the information that I'll be sharing today is partly about virtual school in addition to the traditional preschool program. So, some of our parents have elected to be a part of our virtual program. So, they'll be learning 100% online. And then the other part of our program will be in class. So, without further ado, here's the information. So today we'll be talking about first and foremost the most important thing, which is COVID-19 policies and procedures that we've adapted to be in line with the CDC guidelines and Department of Human Services regulations as well. I'll review information regarding virtual learning, general information, Philly pre-K specifically, as well as any other basic information. So our program has adapted a number of new policies that will ensure that all of our staff and children are safe. We've adjusted our illness policy, which you have access to. We've also adapted making sure that we check the children's temperature and adults' temperature upon entering the program. Any temperature above 100.4 degrees will not be accepted into the program. Reduction of our visitors is a new policy, so we are no longer allowing visitors inside of the building. You would have to make an appointment to do a virtual tour. All of our paperwork is also online, and any questions can be answered over the phone. Students will be dropped off at one main door. We'll get the temperatures, we'll document those temperatures, and they'll go directly into the classroom. Masks are mandated for everybody that enters into the program. Parents, teachers, and children are required to have their mask on at all times while they're inside of the building. Sanitizing stations are located outside of each classroom. We've reduced our classroom size from 18 children in the classroom to 10, which will allow for that social distancing. Siblings have been put inside of the classrooms if they're inside of the building. So if there's two children in the family, both of the children will be in the same classroom. Our staff will not have children going in and out of the classrooms. The teachers will be the individuals who will go from one classroom to the next if absolutely necessary, but everybody will remain in the same classroom throughout the course of the day. We're also having staggered lunch time, so each classroom will have an individual lunch period down in our lunchroom. And we will sanitize all toys and hard surfaces several times a day, and we'll do a deep cleaning at the end of the day. We will report any COVID-19 positive cases to the CDC, as well as closing the program for 14 days to ensure that we do not spread the disease. Here's a picture of some of the policies that we have in place for our classrooms. The children have hula hoops inside of the classroom to help them regulate their space around each other. Like I said, the classroom size has been reduced almost by half. And students, when they're taking a nap, they will be able to remove their mask. They'll be 6 feet apart. They'll have an individual bag which have their name on it. And they'll have a symbol for those children who are not able to read their names. They'll put their mask inside of their paper bag. They'll have their nap, and then as soon as they wake up, they'll put their masks back on. So for virtual learning, all the children will be broken down into pods. So instead of classrooms on a virtual learning system, there will be pods. There will be a combination of synchronized, which means that students will have to participate at a certain time of the day, and non-synchronized activities. So there'll be brain breaks and independent learning activities the children will participate in throughout the course of the day. Laptops and learning material will be given to each of the students who are participating in our virtual learning program. So for virtual learners, here's a schedule. It's a lot different than the traditional schedule, but it has documentation of when the children are expected to be live, and it is not marked off live when they can do independent learning. So this is information for everybody. Our program's traditional schedule is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., but due to COVID-19, we have adjusted our hours from 8 o'clock a.m. until 5 o'clock p.m. So all before and after care services has been suspended until further notice. All paperwork and applications can be filled out on our website, which is just for forms and documentation. You can fill out the forms and then select submit, and the forms will be sent directly to our office. That website is www.jccenroll.com. Meals will, we will be serving meals to students once applications are received. So from the first day of school until we receive your application, then students will have to bring all meals to school. That's breakfast, lunch, and snack. We ask that the lunches that are sent, that they be healthy snacks, because the whole school day is considered a learning lesson. So we want to make sure that students are bringing in healthy snacks. We want to reduce cakes and chips and sugary sodas brought into the program. So if we can get 100% fruit juice or water, then that would be adequate for our meal times and snacks. Next, we're moving on to tuition. All payments can be made digitally. We want to reduce the transmission of any types of germs. So we're really asking that everybody, if they're making payments to the program, that they do it through our Brightwell app. Here is a list of all of our tuition rates, which are published. One of the penalty charges is for late pickups. Our program ends at 3 p.m. And so Philly Pre-K program ends at 3 p.m. And if you are in the school days program, then you have until 5 o'clock p.m. Late fees will be charged $5 for the first minute and $1 for each additional minute that the child is still remaining in the program after closing. All financial agreements, paperwork is done online. If you're interested in alternative services, funding will be available if you would apply to ERLC, which is also known as CCIS. And here are the contact numbers. If you ever need any information, please just feel free to message me. All of the contact information, you'll actually get this slide, so you don't have to worry about jotting things down so quickly. So for safety purposes, we want to make sure that every person that is on the emergency contact list is equipped to come and pick the child up with their photo ID. Our program staff cannot, under any circumstance, release any child to a person who does not have photo ID. We'll give a call to the next person on the emergency contact list to see if that person can come pick up the child, but we cannot release a child without photo ID from the pickup person. If there's an emergency release, so in the event that there's an emergency and someone needs to pick the child up who is not on the emergency contact pickup list, then we will do a release form over the phone, get permission from the parent, but the person who's coming into the building, who coming to the classroom, will have to show ID to every person that they come in contact with. So the person at the door, they have to show ID. Person in the office, they'll have to show ID. When they go back to the classroom, they'll have to show ID. So it's very important that every staff member is aware of the policy that they will be checking for ID. So for positive behavior, our guidance is to help the child to transition into the classroom by teaching them what the norms are in the classroom. It is very important that the families and the teachers are in close contact and communication about any changes that is happening in the child's life. There are observations and assessments done on a weekly basis. And if there's any concern, we always feel free to come in and talk to us about any behavior challenges. So our guidance is to prevent suspension and expulsion at all costs. We do that by getting as much information as we can from the first day of school. We have getting to know you forms that are filled out so that the teachers can better soothe and support the child if there's any challenges. We also have ages and stages questionnaires that'll be done on the first week of school with the teacher. We have assessments that are done, and we have activities that are specifically tailored to each child's individual needs. So each of the children will be picked up and dropped off using the Brightwell app. Each family should have already received their invitation to Brightwell. We ask that any phone numbers that are changed, that you do update it with the emergency contact list online, as well as updating the phone numbers in Brightwell. Looks like I've gone backwards. So communication with families are done on a daily basis. So at drop off and pickup, we have communication. Through Brightwell, teachers and administration are available to communicate with any questions or concerns that's had. Emails are also a good way to communicate, as well as posters that are all over the program, signs that are in the classrooms, in the hallways, and through the telephone if need be. The quickest way to get in contact with anybody is through Brightwell. The office staff may not be in the classroom, they might be supporting the teachers, or they might not be in the office. So Brightwell is the best and most effective way to get in contact with anybody at our program. In the event of an emergency, because the phone lines will be tied up, because everybody wants information immediately, we will be always sending out information through text via Brightwell, as well as email blasts. We update our social media, Facebook and Instagram, as well as use the telephone in an emergency. We have had a volunteer participation, but due to COVID-19, all of the volunteer experiences are suspended until further notice. But I wanted to just make sure that you all are aware that those are opportunities that are available once we go back to our normal, which I hope we do very quickly. So all trips are canceled as well. We're going to be remaining in the building to reduce the spread of COVID-19. So our attendance is taken on a daily basis. We do our morning meetings, which is where we have communication with the children. We check in with them to see how their weekend, their nights, and their holidays was. And we take attendance that way, as well as the children do as well. They take their own attendance. And they're really good at managing, who's here and who's not. So they're really helpful. What we will be also suspending is the absence note. Because parents will be dropping their children off at the door, all documentation will be done by staff, but we will be keeping an eye on the number of tardiness and absences that the children have in our program. Program starts, we start accepting children in at 8:30, and the school day and academic start promptly at 9 o'clock. Looks like we had a technical difficulty, but I believe I was at uniforms. Uniforms are the light blue uniform shirt, navy blue uniform bottoms. The girls can wear the dress over top of their light blue uniform shirt, but the jumper must be sleeveless. Right. Our curriculum is the creative curriculum, and we use the Teaching Strategies Gold as an observation tool. So we are really big on academics as far as literacy, mathematics, science, and social studies. So those are the areas that are highly incorporated into our daily lessons, as well as arts and technology. In the classrooms, these are the interest areas that are set up. And we also have cooking and outdoors as an interest areas. During the COVID-19, we will be spending time outside. So children definitely will still be going outside to get fresh air, especially since we have these masks on all day. It's very important that we get that fresh air. For those who are not going to be attending the program, this is what our classrooms look like. You can see the interest areas there where the children can explore and learn. And here's another picture of what some of our classrooms look like. And you can see there's enough space for each of the children to have their social distance. It is very important that we make sure that the children are ready for kindergarten. That is our overall goal. Our graduation rate is 100%. We graduate all the children that come into our program. And it's been our experience that children are kindergarten ready, and some are first grade ready once they go through our program. Our program is a 10-month program from September to June, and we have a layout here of some of the activities that we do throughout the course of the year so that we are preparing each month for our children to be prepared for kindergarten. We have assessments that are done 3 times a year, in the fall, in the winter, and in the spring. Parents are welcome to do meetings with the teachers to ensure that we're all on the same page and that the children's goals are being met and plan goals for the next marking period. Questionnaires are done at the beginning of the school year and throughout the course of the school year for a number of reasons. We use the information to better our program and get more information from families for what it is that they would like to see. Our students' work is collected in a portfolio. The portfolios comprise of photos, children's sample work, anecdotal records, achievements and assessments, and for the digital learners, all of their documents will be collected on the Google Classroom. For teacher portal and communication, we make sure that daily communication happens, the morning wellness check. So we do check the children's temperature at the morning. We ask how their night was, if there was any illnesses or sicknesses, and how the child slept. If there's any pre-existing injuries or illnesses, we do check that at the door. We wanted to make sure that the communication is clear, that if an incident happened outside of school, that it has been documented for everybody's protection. And if there has been any type of changes, family changes or traumas, we really ask that you share that information with us so that we can support the child emotionally. When we are outdoors, we expect for the children to have on the proper outside wear. If it's cold, we ask that the children have on a sweater, jacket, pants, gloves, hat, because we go outside every single day, weather permitting, and the weather permitting temperatures are between 25 and 90 degrees. And as long as it is not ING outside, raining, snowing, hailing, or if it's too windy, we would go outside every single day. So what to expect on the first day of school? We will have valet people at the front door collecting the children. Usually you'll have our staff outside collecting the children from the curb, but due to COVID-19, and the number of new steps that we have to take, all the children will be met at the door, temperatures will be checked, and communication will be transpired between staff and families. What to bring on the first day of school is very important, that the children have a complete change of clothes in the event of an accident. That is pants, shirt, underwear, and socks. We also ask that they bring a family photo in the event that they're really sad and they really miss you guys. You want to have that with them, as well as a fitted crib size sheet and blanket. That's a crib size, teeny tiny crib size. Not full size, we can't cut them. If we have larger sheets than what we need, we will not be able to accept the children into the classroom for nap. Larger sheets and blankets are a tripping and slipping hazard for both children and staff. In order for us to keep everybody safe, the mandate is a crib size sheet and blanket. Okay. Change of clothes in the cubby in the event of an accident. They do not have to be a uniform, but we ask that they are a uniform just in case they have an accident. They can change their clothes and nobody will know that they had an accident because now they have on another uniform. Uniforms will be sent home to be laundered, and they are expected to come back the very next day that the child returns to school. Back to school notice for uniforms listed on the screen are a number of places where you can get uniforms. And Walmart, also Walmart is on here now. Walmart is a place where they definitely have a lot of uniforms, as well as Young World and Foreman Mills. This is the time, if we were in person, I'd ask about any questions. If you have any questions after this time, please make sure that you email me at johnsonchildcarecenters.com, or you can write with me. Thank you so much for choosing Johnson Child Care Center, and I look forward to seeing you on the very first day of school.